What if I told you that a simple, ordinary-looking 2012 USA 1-cent coin, yes, that tiny Lincoln penny you've probably seen 1,000 times, could actually be worth $85 or more, not because of its age, not because of any precious metal, but due to a fascinating mix of mint errors, production quirks, overlooked variations, and the unexpected enthusiasm of collectors that has turned this seemingly insignificant coin into one of the most talked about modern rarities in numismatic circles, and in today's deep dive we're going to uncover the incredible story behind how and why the 2012 1-cent coin has managed to gain such popularity, sparking treasure hunts, generating waves across coin collecting forums, creating viral videos online, and fetching eye-popping prices in auctions and private sales. And welcome to our channel where we explore the world's most valuable coins hiding in plain sight, rare currency secrets, and incredible true stories that you don't want to miss. And right now, the spotlight is on the 2012 penny, a coin that was minted by the billions, yet a select few within that massive batch hold mysteries and minting anomalies so unique that collectors are willing to pay big money to secure them. And it all begins with understanding the context in which the 2012 cent was made, as this coin was struck as part of the Shield Reverse design series which began in 2010, replacing the Lincoln bicentennial reverse that ended in 2009, and while billions were indeed produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, anomalies began appearing almost immediately as collectors noticed strange doubling, off-center strikes, dyed chips, and even transitional planchet errors, the kind of rare mistakes that occur when a coin is struck on a blank meant for another year or metal composition. And these errors are so rare and difficult to replicate that they often go unnoticed by casual observers but become the holy grail for eagle-eyed numismatists, and among the most desirable of these 2012 1-cent errors are the double-die obverse versions where Lincoln's face or inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear noticeably doubled under magnification, creating a layered or ghosted effect that is extremely prized due to the difficulty of such doubling to occur in today's modern high-precision minting environment. And then there's the wide AM reverse error, a throwback to older reverse dies mistakenly used on newer coinage, where the spacing between the A and M in America is noticeably wider than it should be, leading to immediate interest from seasoned collectors who understand how this error type echoes the legendary wide AM varieties from previous years. And that's not even mentioning the off-center strikes, where a coin might be only partially struck or missing a segment of the design due to improper alignment in the press, which causes dramatic visual differences that instantly make a coin stand out. Sometimes these are 5%, 10%, or even more dramatically off-center, making them both eye-catching and valuable. And then we move into the world of die cracks and cuds, where damaged or fatigued dies cause raised lines or blobs of metal to appear in unexpected areas of the coin, usually on Lincoln's portrait or the shield design on the reverse. And while these may seem like small defects, in the world of error collecting they are highly prized because they capture a unique moment of failure in the minting process, something that can never be repeated exactly the same way again, essentially turning each flawed coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. And further intrigue surrounds transitional planchet errors, where a 2012 penny might have been accidentally struck on a leftover blank from a previous year, or even on an experimental or foreign planchet, leading to variations in color, weight, and magnetic properties. And sometimes these are only discovered when someone notices that a coin feels too light or too heavy, or fails to respond to magnets in expected ways, prompting further analysis and discovery that often ends with third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC certifying the coin as a verified error with significant added value. And speaking of grading, collectors know that even ordinary 2012 pennies can jump significantly in value if found in pristine condition, with full red designation, flawless surfaces, and high strike quality, and some of the most desirable examples in MS67 and MS68 grades have sold for well over $85 simply due to their condition and scarcity at those top grades, since out of the billions minted only a tiny fraction survived without dings, scratches, or discoloration, making those few pristine examples like diamonds among pebbles. And when you combine mint state rarity with error varieties, that's when prices really explode, as coins with both a dramatic error and a high grade can fetch hundreds or even thousands depending on collector interest and auction demand. And while many people still throw their spare change into jars without a second thought, savvy collectors and hobbyists are actively searching their pocket change, coin rolls, and estate sale jars for 2012 pennies that just might have these valuable characteristics. And countless stories have emerged online of people finding rare errors in pocket change, buying overlooked rolls from banks, or discovering forgotten jars from the early 2010s only to find that one or two coins were worth far more than face value. And with online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections facilitating buying and selling of even minor varieties, there has never been a better time to get involved in the search and possibly profit from finding a rare 2012 penny hiding in plain sight. And the excitement is not just limited to seasoned collectors. Newcomers to the hobby are learning that era coin collecting is a gateway into a world of historical discovery, mechanical understanding, and real-world treasure hunting, and the thrill of the hunt is amplified by the possibility that the next penny you examine could be the one with an unseen era that turns out to be incredibly rare. And if you've got jars of old change lying around, or access to rolls of coins from your bank, it might be time to pull out a magnifier and check for signs of doubling, spacing anomalies, striking errors, or planchet defects. And don't forget the telltale signs like missing elements in the design, unusual textures, or mismatched colors, which can all be clues pointing to a valuable variation. And for those willing to take the time to learn what to look for and compare against known era guides, the 2012 penny offers a surprisingly rich vein of opportunities to uncover unexpected value. And whether it's the double die, the wide AM, off-center strikes, die cracks, cuds, or even a perfect high-grade specimen, the 2012 1-cent coin has proven again and again that even the most common looking coin can hold uncommon secrets. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare 2012 pennies and want to uncover more valuable coin stories, breakdowns of minting mysteries, and real collector tips, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover the hidden value in your own pocket change. Next! Today, we're diving into one of the most unexpected and fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting, the tale of the 2005 1-cent coin from the United States that, against all odds and due to a series of subtle but highly prized minting mistakes and rare anomalies, is being sought after by collectors and enthusiasts for a stunning value of up to $102, turning what most people overlook into a tiny piece of American numismatic history that might just be lying unnoticed in your home. So if you're the type of person who tosses spare change into a jar or a drawer without thinking twice, this is your chance to learn why it's worth taking a closer look, because today we'll uncover how such a low-denomination coin minted in Denver in 2005 came to command such attention and money, and we'll go through all the fine details, minting errors, die varieties, and production anomalies that elevated this copper-plated zinc cent from pocket change to prized collectible, starting with the basics, understanding that the 2005 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, showing Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. And even though the design itself wasn't new or particularly rare in 2005, the Denver Mint's production of these coins that year had certain batches riddled with a variety of minting flaws, especially those that collectors call error coins, which are coins that deviate from the mint's intended design due to mistakes during the production process. And this is where things get very interesting, because error coins can range from the extremely obvious, like off-center strikes or missing parts of the design, to extremely subtle and microscopic imperfections like double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, planchet flaws, or misalignments. And the 2005 penny is one such coin that showcases several types of these errors in different known varieties, each contributing to its increased value in the collector's market. So let's take a deep look into the most reported and verified errors found in 2005 pennies, starting with the most famous one, the double die obverse, which happens when the coin's design is impressed twice in a misaligned manner during minting, resulting in visibly doubled features on the front of the coin such as Lincoln's eye, beard, bow tie, or the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date 2005. This doubling can sometimes be strong and dramatic, making it easy to identify even without magnification, or it can be subtle and require a loupe to notice. But in either case, it draws significant interest from collectors due to the rarity and the aesthetic uniqueness of each individual coin. And another noteworthy flaw seen in 2005 cents is the so-called die crack or die break error, where parts of the die used to strike the coin have developed fine cracks, resulting in raised lines or bumps on the coin surface that were never intended by the design, often appearing along Lincoln's head or neck or running along the reverse fields near the memorial building. and while die cracks can be relatively common in mass-minted coins, when they are large, dramatic, or shaped in unusual ways, like forming what collectors call cuds or blobs, they can drastically increase a coin's desirability, and moving beyond that, we encounter one of the more elusive but fascinating errors called the misaligned die strike or mad error, where one of the dies, usually the obverse or reverse, becomes slightly out of position, causing the coin to appear slightly off-center on one side while remaining normal on the other, which creates a visual imbalance that is rare and highly prized, especially when the design is partly cut off at the rim, and this leads us to the off-center strike error itself, which is a favorite among collectors because it's so visually striking, literally, since the coin may be minted with as much as 5% to 90% of its design missing depending on how far off-center the strike occurred, and if the date and mint mark are still visible on such an off-center coin, its value can multiply greatly, with even minor examples trading for $20 to $50 and more extreme ones reaching or exceeding the $102 mark. And another major category of errors found on 2005 cents is planchette errors, especially coins struck on improper or defective planchets, such as those with laminations or those that were underweight, overweight, or even coins accidentally struck on foreign coin planchets or blank metal discs meant for other denominations or countries. These planchette anomalies are exceedingly rare, but when found, they can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the nature of the mistake. And then there are repunched mint marks, known among collectors as RPMs, which occur when the mint mark was punched into the die more than once and in slightly different positions, which was more common in older coins but can still be seen in modern-era pieces like the 2005 penny. And in such cases, under magnification, you might notice a faint secondary D to the northeast, southwest, or elsewhere around the main D, and these RPMs, although subtle, carry significant collector interest and value, especially if they're in mint state condition. And speaking of condition, that brings us to one of the most important elements affecting any coin's value, its grade, because even the rarest error can lose its marketability if the coin is damaged, scratched, or excessively worn, whereas a 2005 penny with a dramatic error that's in uncirculated or mint state condition, graded MS60 and above by agencies like PCGS or NGC, will fetch much higher prices at auction or in private sales. And so if you find a 2005 penny that appears even slightly unusual, whether in its color, texture, strike, alignment, or visible features, it's worth examining more closely or having it appraised by a professional grader, especially since the average person may not recognize the signs of value, and that's where millions of valuable coins continue to pass hands in everyday commerce without anyone realizing their true worth, which is part of what makes coin hunting so exciting. And let's not forget that the minting process itself is a mechanical and fallible operation, relying on thousands of strikes per minute and subject to the wear and tear of dies, presses, and planchets. So it's entirely possible that many of these valuable error coins were created simply due to equipment failure, human oversight, or even rushed production schedules. And with billions of pennies minted every year, the fact that any 1-cent piece can rise above the masses and become a 4-figure collectible is a testament to how detailed and passionate the world of numismatics is, and it's also why entire online communities, auction platforms, and collectors' clubs are constantly seeking new finds, sharing error listings, and maintaining extensive error coin databases that include varieties from each year, including the 2005 series. And to give a specific example, some of these coins have shown dramatic bubbled or blistered surfaces caused by gas trapped beneath the plating, which, while technically a manufacturing defect, can be seen as an interesting feature by collectors and may drive demand if the blistering occurs in certain symmetrical or unusual locations. And in some cases, collectors have even found 2005 cents struck through foreign objects like bits of wire, fiber, or debris that became lodged in the dies, leaving behind impressions of those objects on the finished coin. Such struck-through errors are often one of a kind and can fetch impressive prices due to their uniqueness. And now let's talk numbers, because while the average 2005 penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, those with errors or in high grade can easily fetch between $20 and $102 or more, especially if sold through specialized coin auctions or to dedicated collectors. And in fact, coins with multiple simultaneous errors, say, a double die plus a die crack and a misaligned strike, are considered even more valuable due to the compounded rarity. And this is why so many collectors advise newcomers to always inspect their coins under at least 10x magnification, keep detailed records of their findings, And stay up to date with auction results and coin grading trends, because what's considered valuable today might be worth even more tomorrow as demand for error coins continues to grow, and the story of the 2005 D penny proves just that, a humble coin that most people ignore, now commanding the attention of collectors, historians, and investors alike, simply because of its imperfections and the way those flaws turn an ordinary object into a tangible piece of minting history. So next time you're sorting through change, keep your eyes open for off-center strikes, doubled letters, odd textures, weird colors, visible cracks, partial designs, and any anomalies that could signal a rare variant, and remember that your next coin find could be worth much more than you think. And if you learned something valuable from this deep dive into the 2005 D penny and how it reached a surprising $102 value through the combined forces of error rarity, collector interest, and historical context, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another hidden gem in the world of coins and collectibles. Today, we're diving deep into the world of coin collecting to uncover the fascinating and often overlooked value of the 2000 D 1-cent coin, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but thanks to its surprising errors and intriguing minting flaws, it can be worth as much as $126 or even more depending on the condition and demand from collectors. And what makes this coin such a gem in the eyes of enthusiasts and numismatic experts alike lies in the small imperfections and anomalies that slipped through the rigorous quality control processes of the Denver Mint during that year, turning this humble copper-plated zinc coin into a prized collector's item that has sparked widespread interest across online auctions, collector forums, and in-person trading circles. And as we peel back the layers of what exactly makes the 2000 D penny stand out, you'll find a detailed analysis of every known error, variant, and rare mistake that transforms this otherwise common coin into a piece of American history with a remarkable story to tell. So stay tuned as we explore the rich tapestry of the coin's production history, the specific types of errors that drive up its value, and how ordinary people have stumbled upon these hidden treasures in pocket change, piggy banks, and old coin jars. Because the story of the 2000 D penny begins with a look at the United States Mint's operations during that year, particularly in Denver where the D mint mark indicates its origin, and it was during the turn of the millennium when millions of these coins were struck, and yet not all of them were struck equally, as various issues ranging from off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, weak strikes, improper planchette compositions, and even rare transitional features have surfaced among the batch of coins minted in that year, which when authenticated and verified by grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, can fetch prices far beyond face value. And among the most talked about varieties is the 2000 D penny with a double die obverse, where the details on Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date appear slightly or significantly duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And while minor doubling might not always catch the attention of collectors, more dramatic examples have sold for hundreds of dollars depending on their clarity and visibility. And then there's the category of off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the center of the planchette, leading to coins where part of Lincoln's bust or the rim is missing or oddly placed. And collectors love these pieces not just for their rarity but also for the unique and unpredictable nature of each one, with some off-center errors being more desirable when the date and mint mark are still visible, making them easy to identify and catalog. And speaking of cataloging, the coin's value often increases when it's documented in recognized numismatic references or error coin databases, such as the Cherry Picker's Guide, or listed under specific variety indexes. And die clashes present another fascinating avenue where the coin dies strike each other without a planchette between them, transferring part of the reverse design onto the obverse die and vice versa, resulting in ghost-like impressions on subsequent coins that can be subtle or dramatically visible, creating a mysterious and sought-after appearance that makes even seasoned collectors take notice. And although die clashes are relatively rare, they are considered more valuable when the resulting marks are strong, deep, and clearly identifiable. And the 2000 D also sees instances of broad strike errors where the collar that usually shapes the coin's rim fails, allowing the metal to expand slightly and create a flattened, broader appearance with distorted design elements. And in pristine condition, these broad-struck coins can command significantly higher prices, depending on how dramatic the error is. And we can't forget about the lesser-known but equally exciting category of struck-through errors, which occur when foreign materials like grease, cloth, or even small debris get between the die and planchet during the minting process, causing parts of the design to be obscured, flattened, or entirely missing, and the appeal here lies in the sheer unpredictability and one-of-a-kind nature of each struck-through error, with some collectors paying a premium just to own a coin that is entirely unique in its defect. And speaking of uniqueness, a few examples of 2000 OD cents have been found with planchet errors such as improper alloy mixing or lamination cracks where the metal flakes or peels away due to internal flaws, creating coins with split surfaces, exposed inner cores, or even missing layers of copper plating. And when these planchet issues combine with other minting anomalies like doubling or off-centering, the resulting coin can become exponentially more valuable due to the compounded rarity. And let's not overlook misaligned dies, which result in a coin having the obverse and reverse designs not perfectly centered in relation to each other, leading to what appears as one side being off balance or rotated, and though minor misalignments are not uncommon, extreme cases where rotation exceeds 15 to 30 degrees tend to attract more serious attention from error coin collectors, and further compounding the 2000 ADS value is the existence of transitional errors, although rare, where planchets intended for other denominations or compositions were accidentally used during the minting process, leading to off-metal strikes that when discovered and verified can reach eye-watering prices at auction. And since the United States Mint had previously transitioned in the 1980s from bronze to copper-plated zinc, there is always a slim but intriguing possibility that planchets from an earlier era found their way into the 2000 minting presses, resulting in coins with incorrect weight or magnetic properties, and even minor weight discrepancies can spark curiosity among collectors who use precision scales to identify anomalies. And another often underrated aspect is the coin's condition or grade, as uncirculated or mint-state coins with errors are generally worth far more than those with heavy wear, scratches, or corrosion, and a 2000 D penny with a rare error and a grade of MS65 or higher can be a game-changer, especially if it also has strong luster, minimal contact marks, and well-defined features. And some collectors even pay extra for coins that have eye appeal, an aesthetic factor that, while subjective, can greatly influence a coin's market price. And as the digital age makes buying and selling coins more accessible, online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have become hotspots for trading error coins. And it's not uncommon to see 2000 D pennies with well-documented errors selling for $50 to $126 or more depending on rarity and demand, and social media platforms and coin forums have played a huge role in spreading awareness about these coins, with many enthusiasts posting photos, comparisons, and authentication tips to help others spot valuable examples in circulation. And as awareness grows, so does the competition, meaning that coins once deemed unimportant are now being re-evaluated and cherished, and this has led to more people examining their loose change and family coin collections, bringing in a new wave of collectors who may one day stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. And stories have emerged of lucky individuals discovering 2000 OD pennies with dramatic errors in parking lot change, coin roll hunts, or inherited coin jars. And these tales only add to the legend of the coin, reinforcing the idea that treasure can be found anywhere if one knows what to look for. And the thrill of the hunt is a huge part of the allure, as each coin offers the possibility of being something extraordinary, and numismatists continue to study these coins under microscopes, using advanced photography, chemical analysis, and archival research to better understand the circumstances behind each type of error. And their findings not only validate the coin's authenticity but also enrich the collective knowledge of minting history. And with each new discovery, the market for the 2000 D penny grows more vibrant, dynamic, and lucrative. And for those interested in verifying their own coins, consulting grading services or local coin dealers can be a great first step, as well as joining numismatic societies or attending coin shows where experts are often willing to share their knowledge and provide evaluations. And if you happen to find a 2000 D penny with any of the errors mentioned, be it doubling, off-centering, die clashes, broad strikes, struck-through anomalies, lamination flaws, or transitional planchet mistakes, it is well worth taking a closer look and possibly getting it graded, because that single cent could be your ticket to joining the ranks of collectors who turned a seemingly ordinary coin into a high-value asset. And so as we wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 2000 D 1-cent coin, it becomes clear that the tiniest flaws can make the biggest difference, transforming a simple copper-colored disc into a story, a relic, and a prized collectible all in one. So don't forget to check your change Look closely at every coin, and keep exploring the hidden value in everyday currency. And if you enjoyed learning about this coin and want to uncover more fascinating stories about rare coins, unexpected treasures, and valuable finds that could be hiding right under your nose, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on the world's most surprising coins.